Hi, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Uh, Hello, students. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, students, today we have a guest, Mr. Zohaib Qureshi. So, he is a structural engineer at Dar Al-Handasah, Pune, and he have great experience in structural engineer with 6.5 years of work experience in international projects in RCC and steel design as well. So, welcome, sir. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, sir. So, before we start our interview, I just want to know your career. Means how did all it started?
Yeah, basically, it's a quite, like remembering story for me also, how it started. So, uh, basically, like when I, like graduated in civil engineering firstly, then I had a brief, like exposure for this industry, civil engineering. And I had, like I started working for one of the company. But lately, it was there in my mind that, I should study further during my graduation academics only. So lately, uh, and I, like I had a brief stunt in one of the company. So then at that time, actually, I realized that, civil engineering is a quite a vast field, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to, like narrow it down if I really need to, like survive it in this field. So basically, I mean, that was going on my mind. Yeah, that was going in my mind, and what I have done, I started looking for the options. I was thinking to get master in one of these specialization and then start working on that. So basically, I mean, I came to this structure engineering after that, and then I went into this masters. Eventually completed my masters, and then I mean that all started where I started working for this like structural designing field. So it was like freshly it was good. Uh, I started for as a trainee design engineer, and it was a good experience. Obviously, the I mean I was quite lucky to have like a few of my seniors which were very good at that time. So they were quite helpful for me, and then they started like giving me some tasks, understanding like what exactly like happens in terms of life projects that we are dealing with, understanding the requirement like what we have. So those things actually quite, I mean those are the small things, but it was quite like it was quite exciting, as well as it was quite helpful for me also. So this is where all it started, and then I've been in this field, as you said, like morely 6 7 years. So it's a quite of time now.
Yeah. Okay, so it was great journey that you got that very good seniors. That's why you chose this career. Who guide you that this is the great career to start your journey. So, sir, my next question is: you are now working as a structural engineer. So, what is your basic roles and responsibilities as a structural engineer?
Yeah, so basically, a structural engineer, when we come into the industry, so structural engineer, I mean, we are not alone in this industry. This is like, AEC, what we call architectural engineering construction.
Hmm.
So architecture plays a very important role. It's like, the two parallel railway tracks, like it's like a track we have to move together. It's architecture and structure. We
Hmm.
don't meet at a point, but, we have to run together. Yeah.
Hmm.
So basically, these guys, first of all, like you have a client which wants to spend his money on like for his personal purpose. So I mean, he hires one architect, like to get into the project. So these guys actually develop something for the client. Like this is how it is gonna be like for this particular, for example, a building. So architecture guys, like develop something for a client. I mean, basically what we call is as a concept initially. So they start developing the concept, keeping in mind that structurally, like it should be feasible. So that's where we come into the picture. Like whatever architect draws on the line, we actually like give them the reality. Yeah, this is possible. Yeah, this is not possible. It is feasible. It is not feasible. So this is how we come into the picture. So when it comes onto the paper, like all the idea architecturally, when it comes to the paper, then we understand the requirement. We start, like calculating the, what kind of system that we are going to provide. We, like based on the codes and everything, we calculate the loadings, what actually the structure will be having in terms of all loading. I'm not going into technical much. So then, I mean, it's process. It starts, and then we kind of give some technical aspect like analyze, design. So these things comes into picture, and after that, the production work starts. And these the productions, like after getting the approval from the various authorities, that comes to the site and eventually into the existence. So this is how the project. I mean, the project goes. The roles or responsibility wise also, it's like the same thing. We have to design it, we have to analyze it, design it, and then we have to like produce it, like in terms of drawings, to like get the things done in terms of execution. So this is how it goes.
Okay. So earlier you said that designing is the part of structural engineer. So which softwares are you using? Your organization is using which softwares, and what is the role of that softwares?
Yeah. So basically, I'll categorize the software as in terms of two category here. First category belongs to like the analysis and design, of course, the main softwares which we call that. I mean, StatPro, ETABS, SAP, SAFE, and few of the connection design softwares like RAM connections and all. So this comes into the picture where it makes really makes your life really easy in terms of analysis and design, of course. And second category, I would divide it like second category would be your drafting software, which we call like AutoCAD. You might be aware of Revit. Revit structure actually, it's architecture also. There is a Revit. The structure is also a Revit. So basically, these softwares are for the for the drawing production. So these things actually needs to be combined because analysis and design software gives you the output, what like what exactly the output would be, and I mean, with the help of this Revit and AutoCAD, you actually put onto these things onto the paper to make a like a drawing, which ultimately goes to the site for the construction. So these are equally important for us, like in the AEC industry.
Okay. So my next question is uh, uh, earlier you said that architectures and structural are working on same path, but they never meet each other. So I would like to know that do structural engineer works with architectures, or it is a different kind of architecture is different part and structural engineer is different part, but both you have to work on same project. So I would like to know that do structural engineers works with architectures or not?
Yeah, we have to work on this. I mean, it's the same. I mean, I'll take the same example. Like you have a train running over, like on the wheels. Like I mean, we have two tracks. I mean, the one wheel exactly is the structure, architecture, and another wheel is like structure. So basically, the whole structure, your structural train, is like running over those two, like the wheels. So we have to work parallelly to get the things. And I mean, we have like certain what I can say. um, we have certain, like it happens sometimes, like we need to sort it out these things. We need to, I mean, sometimes architect propose these things which is not feasible, structurally feasible. And sometimes like structurally what like we propose something which architecturally they oppose it. So it's a kind of like Tom and Jerry kind of relationship between us. But eventually, like we have to deal with it at the end of the day, to like to show our friendship. It's a professional only. It's not like it's a professional. So we have to understand these things, and we have to move on to complete our like project or task.
Okay. Um, okay, so thank you that thank you for clearing my doubt that architectures and structures do work in same path. Yeah. So I would like to know about one of your project. So can you explain one of your project and what is the role of that project in that project software using software. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So basically, what happens now these days, the client requirement is that you have to work on, like, it's a quite a dynamic change, I
Mhm.
would say, in the recent years. Like, every client wants to have this 3D analysis, to have the 3D analysis to check the behavior of the structure, like global behavior of the structure. So whatever we have to go for 3D actually.
Mhm.
Like, we don't have any option. Earlier, it used to, like, I mean, still we are using that, 2D analyze quickly once we have to check few things. So we go for 2D analysis and we check it quickly to where when we don't have time. That is called a manual design or manual analysis. But like, having so much of, I mean, millions of members, having thousands, millions of members in one of the structures. So imagine, like, how these days, the requirements have increased. I mean, drastically. It's a huge requirement. It's a huge, like, the scale of the projects are quite huge. You might have seen, the projects in globally, like US, UK, and Gulf regions. So these are quite huge requirements. So basically, I mean, you can't just, like, take one member and design it or analyze it manually, just calculate the load and taking out some moments and then design it. It's not like that. So you have to, like, check globally also what will be the behavior globally when it comes into, like, when a joint is there and you are attaching another. I mean, when a joint contains a lot of members, and that particular joint, especially in terms of, like, 3D space frames and these things. So these, due to this, the requirement of using this computational softwares have increased these days. So, as I mentioned, like SAP, SAFE, ETAPS. So basically, these have their own, like, requirement. In buildings, we have, like, ETAPS is the best software that we use it. Uh, SAP, where we have this, like, skeleton kind of structure, steel structure, where we have, so those kind of structures are, we usually do it in SAP. And for the foundation design, we go for safe and foundation and a slab design, I would say. So safe is a better software I mean, to do the design. And there are a few connection design software. Idea Statica is there, RAM connection is there. So that's what we do. In terms of, like, if I need to share some of the photos, uh, I don't know whether it will come or not, but yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, this is one of the project that I did in Dubai. So this is a Al Khail Mall. You see this. This is the screen that they have here. Here, this is the screen they have.
Can you zoom this? Zoom
Yeah,
on.
actually, I'm not able to zoom in. Can you see my markups?
Yeah.
This, can you see this screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, like, this is a huge mall. Basically, it's situated in Dubai. Uh, I exactly don't remember, like, how much area it has, but it was a quite huge mall. So we had a team working with us here. So this was the, like, the media screen that they are showing with Al Avenue. So that, actually, this was, I was part of this team when they were doing this. So it was a kind of steel structure. So basically, we used, it was long time before. So we used StatPro at that time to analyze and design this particular, like, the particular element, I would say. It's an element of mall where that screen was there. So it was like a slanted, it was like, like slanted like this, and then it was connecting, like, to the main structure like this. So that was the that was the, like, intent behind it. It's situated, like, exactly at the center of the mall. So this is one of the project. Uh,
Where this project is located?
Dubai.
Dubai. Okay. And what is the name of this project? If you remember.
Alkhel Mall. It was Alkhel Mall.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Just of so you did just that slanted column, slanted part portion of the that blue color
yeah, I mean there
portion.
were few other yeah,
Mm.
yeah. There were few other things also which is not visible here actually. This
Mm.
is the these are the Google image. So
Mm.
yeah. Uh, so we need to, like, there were few of the other parts also where this mall has actually got cinema. So
Mm.
there was a long span cinema roof was there, which was support, like which is to be done under the long span trusses. So 30-35 meter long span trusses were there. So
Okay.
that was also, I was also involved in that part. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, this was like, this project, like we had some two, three, like the structural scope we had here. So
Mm-hmm.
this was done in the coordination. Of course, like I'm saying, this is a huge project. I mean, it was a big team involving, like in this particular project. So I was one of them, and I kind of analyze it, design it, and drawings also. Like we were producing it. Of course, it was a big team because this was a huge project. So like that, we actually have done it.
Okay. So on this project is did it Statbo software.
Yeah, actually, this was done on the ETAB. Concrete part was done in ETAB.
Mm-hmm.
Steel part was done on STAT, structural steel part.
Okay.
Yeah,
So my question is, do you use IS codes for this project? Means have you used IS code for specifications?
yeah. I mean, it's really important actually. First of all, like mm, this is not about the IS code actually.
Mm-hmm.
Academically, like I have also gone through codes, IS codes,
Mm-hmm.
and a few of the projects I have what I have done here. So I'm still going through that codes and all. So I mean, this is basically based on the American codes. So and their local authority codes, where I mean it's a like common practice. The project where the project is situated, so you have to follow those standards, those codes,
Mm-hmm.
and based on that, I mean, based on that only the local authorities will give you the approval. So this
Yeah,
is how it
exactly.
follows. Yeah. So basically, we used like American code for this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really important factor actually. To understand, like the codal requirement what we have in terms of loading, in terms of analyze, in terms of it. It's not just like we come into we go to office and then we model something and then we analyze, we design. When you have to have background of the codes standards, like what loading need to be considered, what exactly like the requirements are there, what design parameters I need to consider. Accordingly, we need to decide that, and the end products will come accordingly. So this is how it goes.
Okay. So do you have experience in building sustainable properties and infrastructure?
See, when I started, I was, like I involved in few, like couple of infrastructure projects, but I was quite a trainee over there. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd not say that, like I'm masters in that, but,
Okay.
it's like it happens, then I moved on I mean, for some other company,
Mm-hmm.
and then, I mean, structure engineering itself, like have a quite, like it's a huge field, I would
Hmm.
say. So you have a structural requirement everywhere,
Hmm.
basically in every sectors. So if I, like if I categorize like infrastructure and building sector, so I was involved in the infrastructure sector initially, and then I jumped and then I started looking into the building. So I thought, I mean, this is the one actually I was looking for. So
Hmm.
I stuck to that and I'm continuing there. So
Okay.
basically, yeah, I'm continuing with the building only. Mm,
Okay. So what are the some tools and software that you are comfortable using while designing building sustainability?
building sustainability, I mean, it's a structural requirement only. So those are the only tools that I have mentioned, I think so. I
Means
mean,
My question is that what are the some software that you are comfortable for building?
comfortable, like, yeah, comfortable, like you have to be comfortable in every software,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
like it's good that first of all, what happens, I mean, we have certain things in our mind, so
Hmm.
we have learned. And this is not the things actually I have learned in my office career or my, like this professional career.
Hmm.
Basically, I had a basic idea for little softwares like SAP, ETAP,
Hmm.
Stackpro. So I mean, the students usually use this in terms of project
Hmm.
academically, not having into the like in-depth details, of course. So we had ideas. So we usually learn this, but when it comes into the like this kind of industry, so uh, basically these softwares are there which you have to be like mastered into it, because I would say like 70-80% you'll be using this software only, ETAP, SAP, Stackpro, and all. But certain times, at sometimes you get this requirement to, like when the client has a specific, no, I need this on this particular software, I need it on that particular software. So in that case, you have to learn it. You have to learn it the software. So and you have to, like perform your work on that new software and then verify the things and then move ahead accordingly. So this is the, like this is how it goes here. So
Okay.
you have to adapt the situation based on the requirement.
Hmm. Exactly. So, can uh, can you discuss the most challenging project that you have worked on so far? Most challenging project of yours?
I mean, every project was more challenging for me.
Okay.
No, it's like it's like just a
Hmm.
joke. So I mean, there were a few simple projects also, like
Hmm.
where I mean, what happens in terms of industry, especially where we, like comes into the coordination, which
Hmm.
is it's a really great, like it's a really important factor for any in any AEC industry,
Hmm.
like AEC company. So basically, architectural, structural, and services like mechanical, electrical. So those are the services which we call it a service. So those, I mean, you need to coordinate between them.
Hmm.
Like architecture give you a plan. You have to mark your columns. You have to mark your covers and everything. So you have to coordinate with them. Boss, मैंने इधर column रखा है. I mean, I'm considering a column here. I'm taking a column here. So that should reflect in your drawing. So architect can show it in their drawing like that. I mean, it has to, like your structural drawing should be in line with your architecture drawing. It should
Hmm.
not be like that. I mean, it is like, if you have given a beam over there and some services are coming and hitting in that. So that is what, like that should not happen. So it should be well coordinated, your drawings and these things. So basically, uh, what was the question? ये read करना है ये वाला.
Means most challenging project of yours.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes this is the challenging part in any project, I would say.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
coordination is really important. Coordination बहुत important होता है हर stage के लिए. Whenever you go, like we have
Hmm.
a stage for concept design to um, preliminary design, scheme design, and these things like detailed design. So these are the stages in every project design process. So I mean, it start with the concept. I mean, it goes till the detailed design and tender design. So till the tender design reach, you have to be, like you have to have that clash-free or coordinated inline
Hmm.
drawings ready with you to
Hmm.
deliver. So this is the most challenging part of any project, I would say.
Okay.
If Yeah, and sometimes it becomes challenging for you, like based on the, if you are done. I mean, if you are done with this coordination and all, so I would say like your most of the task has been done. So it's just that site queries, which like you need to, I mean, resolve it based on, like sometimes it happens like site conditions are different than your design assumptions. So
Hmm.
it may happen that these guys will send you a query from there that this is not working. This is how, I mean, this is the level. Some difference is there. Your member is connecting like this. So these queries we, like we get from the site guys, and I mean, we usually take them as a query, the site query, and then we reply to it. It's a like it's a protocol. Every company does this. It's a protocol. It comes under like or comes with a transmitter. You have to reply it with your reply, with, like you have to check it, verify these things, and you have to reply it with respect to uh, with the, like proper solution, proper suited solution, I would say. So this is the challenge for any project. This is what, like I understand.
ओके ओके सो सर जैसे आपने बताया कि आर्किटेक्चर के साथ तो आपको वर्क करना रहता है, मतलब आपने कुछ स्टेप्स बताए कि डिजाइनिंग, देन कैलकुलेट लोडिंग, देन एनालिसिस एंड प्रोडक्शन. सो बेसिकली पहले क्या होता है, जब पहले आर्किटेक्चर अपना खुद का प्लान बनाता है एंड देन स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर विल वर्क ऑन दैट प्लान, और पहले स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर प्लान बनाता है देन आर्किटेक्चर उसमें चेंजेस करता है. प्रोसेस क्या रहती है मतलब?
प्रोसेस प्रोसेस आई वुड से लाइक, मतलब हर कंपनी का एक अलग अलग प्रोसेस होता है, बट प्रोटोकॉल शुड बी लाइक, architect should keep architects should have their, I mean, something in their mind. Then वो अगर वो मिल जाता है पहले हमें, like on the paper or something in terms of drawing, architectural drawing what we call it. So it becomes easy for us कि यहाँ पे columns mark कर दो, यहाँ पे हम wall ले लेंगे, यहाँ पे हम structural system हमारा ऐसा रहेगा, and then we'll have other slabs and cantilever होगा, then how we can manage some, हम कुछ अलग मेथड लगाएंगे, कुछ लॉन्ग स्पैन रहेगा तो हम पीटी कर देंगे, स्ट्रक्चर स्टील में डाल देंगे. So this is how we decide actually, looking at the architectural plan only, because our architect needs to understand the like the requirement of the client, and we need to understand and respect the architect requirement and the client requirement both. So this is how it goes actually.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, so my next question to you is, what are the usual work profiles in structures?
Work profile?
Yeah, like you're working as a structural engineer, then there might be some other work profiles. Like in design field, there is some design engineer or a beam modelers. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Basically, there are two, I would say, like engineer and beam modeler. So, I mean, they are half of the engineers, I would say. Like, I have seen the engineering graduates are, like working as a beam guys these days, because beam has, like this building information has become a widely accepted these days, because like you can see a whole your project in terms of like just a one picture, where architect will come into picture, a structure will be there, and then some services comes into the picture. So as a product as a whole, you will, like look at it. It's a well coordinated your product, I would say. So beam, there are a lot of requirements these days for the beam also. Beam guys, there are like technicians we call, to those who works on drawing, production of course. I mean, in the structure, then these days it's quite, like it's a wide, I would say it's a wide exposure to like various projects. I have seen some, few of the guys working on the computational structure engineer. I have seen few of the projects these days, few of the posts, the few of the candidates working as their profile, computational structure engineer. So those are like, more into your numeric, like numeric analysis, analytical approach, wherein you use this, like softwares like robot programming. It's based on programming basically. So structure has, like structure engineer has scope. If you are good in programming, if you are, like you have developed this particular skill, so you can go into that. You can, there is like I have seen dynamics also. Those are the engineers, and I'm sure like, these top institutions of I mean India, IITs, these have this structural dynamics also, masters and these things. So structural dynamics is another profile which I have come across, and computational structural engineer, as I said. So these are the quite, like few of the profiles related to the structure. I'm sure it. I mean, few are more there, but I have not come across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the challenges to you, or yes, so what are the challenges or problems faced by you while dealing with your freshers or juniors?
Fresher or juniors? I mean, uh, I was lucky in that terms because I did not face any challenge or these things. I mean, there are few difficulties happens because it's a transition. But I would rather answer you like this one, like what was difficult for me as a fresher to
Yeah,
adapt,
okay.
transition from academics to this industry, like
Hmm.
the corporate industry. So like it's a what I would like it was difficult for everyone. I mean,
Hmm.
it's actually difficult for everyone. It was difficult for me also because I am also a human being. Uh, what happens, like academically, I mean, once you come into the corporate life, so basically it's a like kind of mixed kind of feeling, like exciting as well as nervous,
Hmm.
because you are like in the academics you were just like working on few of the examples, you work on few of the examples, but once you come into this particular, I mean, once you join firm or when any this AAC industry, so you have to deal with the life projects. So
Hmm.
it's a kind of a very like it's a responsible job. So if I mean if who are listening to me, they like they can understand. It's a quite of like under responsible job. It's a responsibility which is kept on like the shoulders of a structure engineer.
Hmm.
Because if a structure fails, no, then there is no point. You might have been like you might have seen those videos which are coming recently, which are coming from on the internet,
Hmm.
from the recent earthquakes which happened in the Turkey
Okay, yeah.
and then
Hmm.
this region. Yeah.
Hmm.
So basically, those most of the buildings are failing due to this soft stories.
Hmm.
So I mean, the like the structural negligence, like comes to structural negligence of any structural engineer will lead to such like, of course, like the natural calamity is there, earthquake, which I like don't deny it,
Hmm.
but we have the provisions, we have the like the research team working on like these forces, to consider these forces, this effects into the structural analysis stage itself. We have this like the codal provisions, we have a chapter, we have IS code 1893, we have this code for us. So it has to be like it's a responsible job, and you have to feel the pressure,
Hmm.
you have to be responsible, you have to check each and everything. You just can't let it go like ठीक है इतना डाल दो, ठीक है इतना डाल दो. No,
Okay,
it
so
doesn't work like.
yeah, so as you said that you have to check that seismic analysis as well. So you just go through seismic analysis and design dynamic analysis and response spectrum analysis. So all these analysis done in which software? As you said that you followed the IS 1893, which is a seismic analysis IS code. So how you follow this analysis and how you keep the record of this analysis?
Basically, I mean, these days software has like facilities to I mean to each and every code. I
Hmm.
would say, if you take a example of ETAB and you are designing a building,
Hmm.
so in ETAB itself, you like based on the region, of course.
Hmm.
So and based on the code, I mean, you will see the list of code listed over there. So if you need AI's 1893, then you just have to select, you just have to find out the parameters, just need to input those parameters, and you'll get the results seismically. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the other codes like European codes, American codes. So every software, I think, has got this facility to capture this, like the codal requirements, what we have, seismic codal requirements.
Hmm.
Wind is also there, but it depends, like what we use.
Okay, so basically, I was a StatPro software trainer in CAD Center. So StatPro gives us more factor of safety. Means our construction goes to uneconomical while dealing with StatPro software. So in ETAP software or any software you design as a seismic analysis, so it gives economical budget. It gives economical projects, or else what means. I just want to know that आपने अगर सेस्मिक एनालिसिस किया तो वो आपको फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी ज्यादा कंसिडर करता है उसमें सॉफ्टवेयर में, तो वो आपको फिर इकोनॉमिकल होता है, या फिर आपको अगर फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी अगर वो 1.5 की जगह 2 कंसिडर करता है तो वो आपको मतलब कंक्रीट की कंक्रीट का जो वॉल्यूम है वो भी ज्यादा देगा, बाकी सब वॉल्यूम ज्यादा देगा, तो ये इकोनॉमिकल होता है या नहीं होता है सॉफ्टवेयर में अगर आप करते हो तो?
Uh, I mean, it's a debatable topic actually.
Okay.
See what happens. You have to understand like how the software works first. I mean, there are a few methods. For example, this we have the static method, equivalent static method for analysis, or seismic analysis. You have linear dynamic method. You have non-linear dynamic method. Like linear dynamic, I would say the response spectrum, and these things are there. So I mean, and of course, it's a project specific also. Like whether we have to go for non-linear, where you have to go for linear. So these things you need. I mean, it's a project specific, of course. Looking at the importance of the project, you will like stick to this such analysis. But yeah, of course, those are will. I mean, there are few checks like you need to go back and check it, like verify these things with codes, like whether the software is giving the correct results or not. So these things you have to cross check it with the like the codal provision. This is what I'm getting. This is what it should be. So you have to cross check it in between. I mean, I just like can't say I just can't blindly like depend on the software results. ठीक है 1000 किलोन्यूटन का force आ रहा है तो सही होगा software ने दिया है. I mean, it's not like that. There are few checks quickly you need to go back and check हाँ codal requirement के accordingly सही है. This is how actually we do. I mean, I do.
Okay. Okay. Means what practical skills or design skills or competencies fresher have to upgrade in themselves? What do you think?
Mm, like if you are really looking for structural engineering field or structural designing, basically, like you need to have your technical basics clear first. Like once you are coming into this field, so I mean, this is the like bare minimum requirement. I understand academically we can't cover these things actually. Like everything, steel, concrete, post tension, these things we can't cover it academically because we have this much time and you have to study a lot. So it actually doesn't work that way. So, but whatever you are learning, just like just understand what it is. Like have this feeling. Like technically, you just basics whatever you are learning. So you need to have that. You have to clear the basics, and then once you come into this field, like then you'll be kind of. I mean, it's not like what you were doing academically. It's exactly same thing you will be doing there. It's not like that. So there will be some improvisation, of course. That's why I mean, I called it like the transition wise, it's a little bit difficult for us. So, uh, I mean, hence, and this, whatever academically we have been taught and we have been, like, go through a process of examination, learning the things, having a learning attitude, understanding the thing. So these things really, like matter a lot. So apart from technical skills, have some learning skills, have some, like communication skills, which is really important, and have some, like what I would say, some few of the additional skills related to tools, like you are mentioning. So basically, this analysis software, drawing Revit, and this drawing AutoCAD, at least basic AutoCAD. And then definitely I would a basic additional point I would suggest, like have a really good skill in terms of Excel. If you have,
Okay.
yeah, Excel sheets, because it's a part of even if you don't have software, so you can use the Excel sheets to like design a particular building or members. Once you are, I mean, designing, I'm saying designing. Analysis, for the analysis you need software, of course. You can analyze those, you can take out the result forces. But if you are very good hand, if you have very good hand on your Excel sheets, so you can design without any software. So, and this is the like you guys might have been hearing from social medias and all, because these days your handwritings, I mean, rather than your handwritings, Excel sheets, this one, like Excel sheets experience or expertise will not matter. So this is what happens in industry. I mean, it's not a joke actually, but it's a really important like additional benefit to your restaurant. This actually are like your icing on the cake. I mean, this works on icing on the cake. So you should be like you should be very well, like I mean, you should have awareness of all this. This is what I'm saying. Like now the I mean, everything is like open to us. So you can learn anywhere. So just it's just matter of spending some times rather than being on Instagram reels.
Okay. So earlier you said that skill is very important. So how important is communication skill in professional careers?
And it's really much important. Actually, it's pretty much important. See, communication skill. I'm not just saying like you should have some oral skills. Some, I mean, basically we have. I mean, we should have oral skills
Mhm.
because what happens, like I'm working with MNC now. So you get to know a lot of people around the corner of the world. Now, you know, you sometimes you'll get a guy you are working with some like guy from the another part of the world. So communication, like what you are doing, what I have seen, like there these guys have got offices in India,
Mhm.
and I mean the guys like us are working for them. So we have to coordinate with them directly. So you need to understand what exactly they want to say. I mean, what I can say, like you need to have like that communication skill which you'd be able to send your message to them. So this is how the communication plays a very important role in this case.
Mhm.
And sometimes what happens, like in the internal meetings, of course, like meetings, so for the meetings you need to, I mean, some like your I mean, it's a MNC, so you have to
Mhm.
have this communication pretty much good. Apart from that, you should have the written communication as well. Like I'm
Okay.
talking about in terms of email.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's just that I have done my work. I have like I have at the end of the day, I just need to like send it to the guy which I'm working for. So I just can't call him like this is as done. So I'm just completing. I'm now going off. So
Hmm.
it is not like that. It doesn't work like that. So you have to like uh, take output. You have to present it. You have to like send an email like this was this like this, and then I have done this. So these are my initial results. You can attach. You can refer to the attached file. So these are the. I mean, basically, I would like I would emphasis on this written communication in terms of uh, writing emails, and these are really really important.
Hmm.
So apart from oral communication, written communication should also be there. Presentation wise, like you have to be I mean it occurs sometimes here also, like we have to present something in front of everyone. So you have to have that particular skills, but I'm not like I'm not uh, I mean these things are like these are the basic thing actually. This will you will learn in your academics, where you will be presenting for your like projects and these things. So you'll understand how it works, and you have to be like you have to prepare for that. So that really helps here also. But apart from that, how to present yourself, how to like communicate with other people's,
Hmm.
how to like write emails. So this plays a really important role. So I mean it's not like you should but start working on this. Yeah, I mean it's not like like companies will or the MNCs will directly look into that. It's not like that. As a fresher actually, but what my point is, like you just have a look on this. These are the requirements, basic requirements. So if you have a look on this, then it will be quite easy for you to get placed in companies. So
Hmm.
this is how it works. So basically, if you know the like the softwares, if you know like if your communication is good, so I mean this companies will prefer you like over the candidates, and we have got like plenty of competition here in India. So basically, I mean you should be prepared yourself accordingly to like go into this uh, world.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. So, any last suggestions for our fresher students? Any last message for fresher students?
Fresher student, like mm, uh, I mean, I don't want to, like, मतलब मुझे डराना नहीं है किसी को, but enjoy yourself in the college. But like have these things. I mean, if you are there in college, if you are there in academics, enjoy. But at the same time, have this. I mean, even for me actually, I mean, even I didn't know, okay, मुझे कहाँ जाना है and all these things. So it just happens. I mean, it actually, clear with you with, like after some time, So, but have some ideas ready with you, like prepare accordingly and decide with yourself like what you want to do. If you are not coming into the structure field also, like just decide it that this has to be done and I'm going to this. Have couple of options ready with you. Like, these are my things. So if you are not able to get one, so you can work to others, like two others options. So these things actually, like you should be ready. At the same time, enjoyment is also equally important. So just enjoy.
Okay. Before we end our meeting, I would like to show something. Just a minute. My screen is visible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we from our CAD center, we started one platform which is Design Your Own University.
Okay.
So this is the online platform, which means DYOU, Design Your Own University platform, which is online platform. So where we there are three sections. Like first one is e-learning portal, corporate connect, and job study. So it's just like a YouTube. Means if you go on YouTube and search for some Revit software, so you got the full Revit software course. So it's just like a that Design Your Own University. So this university is our own university. We started this platform, online platform. So in e-learning portal, which is I mentioned that this is one section. So in e-learning portal, there are four sections like civil software courses, interior designer courses, architecture courses, and mechanical software courses. So whatever civil software courses like in structures courses like ETAP, STADPro, then Revit structure, then civil engineering softwares like Revit architecture, Revit MEP, these softwares, interior design softwares, you can consider as a Google SketchUp, Max Video. All these software courses are done in this e-learning portal. So if anyone want to learn Revit software, then he or she can subscribe our university portal and learn from e-learning portal, where all the software courses are posted on e-learning portal. So this is the e-learning portal, and second section is corporate connect, where our experts interviews like you. So today we have conducted our interview. So this interview is posted in expert interviews. So till now we have completed 32 interviews with experts like civil engineering experts, structural engineering experts, interior designers, architects, and some mechanical engineers as well. So these experts interviews are posted in Corporate Connect. So if some fresher want to do career in structure, or if someone want to do career in interior designer, so he or she can see our expert interviews and learn some things, learn some points, and upgrade some skills, which is our experts experts is showing in this interview. So anyone want to do career in this field, so he or she can see our expert interviews. So these are two sections, e-learning and corporate. And third one is job study. So job study is basically I'm playing vital role in job study, because these job studies are prepared by myself: civil job studies, interior job studies, and mechanical job studies. Job study in the sense, I am taking job openings from LinkedIn, Naukri.com, and our CAD center have our own recruiter. So whatever vacancies are going in market, whatever vacancies are coming in market, so if suppose we can consider as an interior designer vacancies in some XYZ company, so we keep that vacancy, and I just prepared some 7 to 8 slides, and in which slides I mentioned that which softwares are needed for interior designer, what are the expectations from company, what salary, how much salary they will pay to you as an interior designer. So these job studies I have prepared, almost 55 job studies I have prepared till now. So if anyone want to do, go for interview, so he or she can firstly check my job studies and prepare on that job studies. So
accordingly.
yeah, so he or she will can crack his interview. So this is our university portal. There are 3 sections, as I said: e-learning, corporate connect, and job study. This is all made just for fresher students to for their career guidance, to prepare their corporate world. So this is the online platform, and सिर्फ उन्हें सब्सक्राइब करना है हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी पोर्टल को, ये सब वो सीख सकते हैं।
Correct.
तो मुझे आपसे कमेंट चाहिए कि हम जो ये कर रहे हैं, हमने जो ये यूनिवर्सिटी पोर्टल ओपन किया है, मतलब आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि हम जो कर रहे हैं वो इसके बारे में?
Of course, like I think it's a great initiative, first of all. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, basically, like, firstly, what we have, learning portal. So, I mean, these guys, like, I mean, these days we have seen, I mean, a lot of people using, like, being on their phones and, like, using the digital platform to learn. So, if we have some material on particular topics like softwares, these, that, and also we can learn it little bit. We can learn, we can upgrade yourself, like, at least basic details we can understand from them, or from like your videos and all. And if you have, like, suppose we have corporate connect, the second thing, which is good, like it's actually I would, like, this is really good, because we have this, you will get to know how, like, this corporate works, how the industry works actually, what kind of requirements, as you said now, that we were interacting with respect to this transition, and also what kind of requirements I should develop within myself to get into, like, the industry. So it's a kind of, like, a proper guidelines, like, you can follow, and you can whichever, I mean, of course, like, the guys usually search on the internet a lot. They'll look for these videos. I mean, you don't know, like, where the knowledge comes from actually, like, very, I mean, you have to be alert. So this one on the YouTube platform, if it is there, so it's well and good. It's a easy platform. It's a like, accepted platform. So they'll learn it. The job portal that you said, job study, that is also very good. You have to, like, where you are spending so much of time to make them understand what exactly are the requirements from the, I mean, from the each, of course, like, each job profile, because, like, every company has different profile. Expectations are different, of course.
Yes.
So whatever for that specific particular profile, you can, like, go and refer to the what are the requirements, and you can, like, upgrade yourself, or you can prepare yourself accordingly. So it's a like, it's a good initiative, I would say.
Okay.
Overall good. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for your valuable time, and thank you for whatever knowledge you have shared with us, which is very helpful for our fresher student who have to do career in structures, or any BIM, or any civil engineer want to do career in corporate world. So this session is very helpful for that students. So thank you,
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, anytime.